Welcome back to On the Record. I'm here with Chris Sterbenc, who is the VP of Sales for Axcient, and we're at the Autotask show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Brand new to the show. I hope you're going to enjoy it, and I'm sure you got a real good question. First of all, give me your elevator pitch. What does Axcient do?
Sure. So Axcient provides backup business continuity and disaster recovery service for small business. It's comprised of an on-site appliance that does the local backup, and it sends all that data off-site to our data center for disaster purposes. Just quick and dirty, the solution is an agentless solution, which means that you put it in the local area network. It auto-discovers all of the devices in the network and brings them up in a GUI. And you can very simply point and click at each device and decide what kind of backup to do, on what schedule, and with what retention. You don't have to worry about installing agent software on all of the devices. In addition, when you do a full server image backup, you can do a local failover in the case of a problem with the actual physical hardware. So say you had someone, hard drive crash or secretary spills coffee on the server and fries it. You can then take that server image and spin it up on the appliance as a virtual machine. Takes over the identity of the server in the network, and all the other computers think it's still up. Business continues as usual. Once you've repaired or replaced the failed hardware, you can do a bare metal restore of the complete server image with all the transactions that happened to the new hardware. And so that's the local piece. All that data, or a subset of it, can be sent off-site to our data center for disaster purposes. And if you lost your whole building to theft, flood, or fire, or tornado, as we had in Alabama last year, we can ship you an appliance with all your data on it within a couple of days and get you up and running that way. Or you can go to just about anywhere with internet access, VPN into our data center, and light up all your servers in a portal and have your whole infrastructure up and running again within minutes.
So everybody at this show is talking about community because that's the name of the show and where it goes. You've got two communities that you bring together. So let's start with it. You've got the other vendors that you work with, in particular HP. I'll start with that one because it's kind of a well-known company. Why is HP so intense upon your company doing well?
Sure. Well, HP is a strategic partner of ours and has been for almost 2 years. And we actually engaged with them initially to solve a business problem that we had, which was, like many vendors in the space, we got started by building custom white box appliances and just using a local integrator to build those in small batches. And what we learned very quickly was that the failure rate was very high and was the highest reason for support tickets for our product. Given that we're really a software company, our secret sauce is the software we've built and the processes that we put around it, and not the hardware. It didn't make sense to continue down that path. And so we started to research who the big appliance manufacturers in the market are. Very rapidly arrived down to HP and Dell as our two favorites, and ultimately selected HP. Primary reasons that we selected HP: number one, there's a real perceived quality of their hardware in the channel. You tell people it's HP gear and their reaction immediately is it's good stuff. Second reason that we picked them is it's true. It's actually very excellent high quality hardware, and it has been almost a silver bullet for that problem for us. We have got a failure rate of less than 2% now, with almost 3,000 of these in the field, and the majority of the failures are just hard drives. And since all of our appliances have hardware RAID, you can literally take the failed drive out, slap a new one in, and the RAID rebuilds on its own. So if you're an MSP, it's still one truck roll, but it's such a simple operation that it doesn't require deep technical training, and you don't have to do an RMA of the box or any of that stuff. So that is probably the two biggest reasons that we went with HP initially. As we engaged with them further, we actually re-architected our backend data center to be a massively scalable all HP platform built around their iBricks technology. We've got almost 2 petabytes of data in our biggest data center on the iBricks today. And so if you look at our solution, it's an all HP technology stack from the end client all the way through to our back-end data center, which makes for a pretty compelling story if you're an HP partner or anyone that wants to just have a lot of good uptime.
And from the other side of it, of course, it gives you guys, if there is a problem, one neck to choke.
That's true, and fortunately the stuff has been really, really good, so we're very happy with them.
That's good. Perfect. Now you also have a lot of alliance partners.
Yes, we do. So in the MSP space, it really is a whole ecosystem of technologies that they rely on to run their business. So the first one would be your remote monitoring platform players, Level, Kaseya, Enable, Lab Tech, Packet Trap, which is now Quest, and a few others. We've built relationships with all the biggest ones and have deep integrations with the Level, and it gives you an opportunity for the MSP to monitor their jobs all the way down to or their appliances all the way down to the backup job level. And so if a job ever fails, it'll throw an alert right in their dashboard, and they can see that there. So on the back end, the other technology they all lean on hard is their PSA, or Professional Services Automation Platform. The two big boys there, Autotask, of course, and ConnectWise, and then a third one you hear about sometimes is TigerPaw, and we've done integrations with them as well. So for probably 90% of the MSPs that are in business today, we integrate with both their RMM and PSA platform very nicely.
Now, what about the partners? How many channel partners do you have now signed up?
So we've got over 1,000 partners in our channel today. For the last, I'd say for 2010 and 11, we focused almost exclusively on the MSP profile. And so the majority of our channel partners are MSPs today. But it was interesting is as the HP relationship moved forward, we got more and more requests inbound for resellers that wanted to sell the service directly to end users that would manage it themselves. So as you know, the MSPs typically do IT outsourcing from end users that have no IT, which left roughly 80% of the market uncovered, and they're serviced by the reseller community. So HP resellers have been thronging to our doors to get access to this stuff to sell it to their customers. And so we have revamped our partner programs, and we launched those in April of this year. And there is now an opportunity for a more traditional reseller to work with us as well and sell the service to an end user.
Sounds pretty. It sounds, first of all, like you really know where you're coming from on it. Like it seems so organized. Where do you think you're going as a company?
Well, I think that the two biggest things that are in front of us, just in terms of how we go to market, that will change, is we have now added the large distributor partners that most of the channel like to buy product from. So that's Synex, Tech Data, and Ingram. And so our partners, both MSP and reseller, can come direct to Axcient, or they can go buy through any of their three favorite distributors. We don't do any direct business. We're a 100% channel company. And so that's a great statement to the channel, and it makes them very comfortable that we won't compete with them. And then we've given them now choices about where to source the product as well.
Yeah, the non-compete is a huge, it's a strange thing though, because there's so few vendors out there who will try to compete against them.
Yeah.
But they're always worried about every single one of them.
Yeah, they always are. All it takes is one story, urban legend to go around, and everyone's freaked out, right?
Yeah.
So I would say, so that's really kind of what we're doing today. And we hadn't mentioned this earlier, but we're primarily focused on North America today. It's really U.S. and Canada is our market. But we are planning to launch internationally in 2013. And the first two places we'll go are to the UK and to Australia. So those are probably the two biggest changes that we'll be doing over the next year and a half.
So, summing up somewhat, why, like, there's so many storage and backup solutions out there. Why? Well, sell me on why. I'm a MSP. I'm looking for one. Why should I pick yours?
Sure. So, and you're right. It's a very crowded space. Backup has been around for as long as there's been data. So, and what we find interestingly is that the vast majority of small medium business are still on backup exec and tape or worse, which is pretty interesting. But so we've got a lot of point competitors in various things that we do. There are folks that do just local backup. There are folks that do pure straight to cloud backup like Mozy Pro and Carbonite. And there's a handful of companies that try to do really all four elements of what our solution offers, which is local backup, the local business continuity, the ability to offsite to the cloud, and the ability to fail over to the cloud. And those companies that we compete with, we're the only one that's actually developed our own technology from the ground up. Everyone else that we compete with there is basically OEMing a suite of third-party products. Pretty much they all start with StorageCraft as the engine, and it's a great, basic image backup product. So they put StorageCraft on a white box and add 2 or 3 other products, and then offsite stuff to their own data center. And that's, Zenith Infotech was the first one to market, and that was their approach, and they really filled a need in the market. There's been several companies that have copied that model almost exactly, and those are the handful of companies that we compete with today. The unique differentiator is that we use the all HP platform, and that we had developed that technology ourselves, and so in the rare occasion where you actually have a software bug, we can fix it ourselves versus calling a third-party vendor that we OEM the product from.
Sounds fabulous. At that point, I'll say thank you very much for coming on the show, and
Oh, thanks
hopefully
for
you'll come
having me.
again.
Yeah, it was great.
Take care.